Hi, TPT sellers. Is 2025 going to be the year you turn things around in your TPT business? Are your sales down right now? Do you have a goal in mind for your store next year? Maybe it's just to make more than last year. Or maybe your goal is to double your income. Some TPT sellers have told me their goal is to 5x their income. Or maybe you're ambitious and you're trying to 10x your income. Whatever your goal is, the real question is, how are you going to do this? Because effort alone is not enough. Don't get me wrong, effort is important. We're all in a race to get proof of concept that what we are doing right now is worth us spending the time and energy. I chat with TPT sellers who are at the start of the game. I chat with TPT sellers who are in the 7-figure club, and we're all the same. We'll try something and we'll give it a good go. But if we don't start to see success from our efforts, we're going to start to wonder, is there something better that we can be doing with our time and money? So yes, effort is important, but we also have to make sure that we're using best practices. Nothing works for everyone all of the time. And the strategies that work for us now will not always work for us. So we have to monitor things, keep track of some numbers. If things are working, then do more of that. We try this, it doesn't work. We try that, it doesn't work. But then if we notice that something that we're doing is producing results, then we do more of that. And we follow the data so that we go out of uninformed optimism into the next stage, which is informed pessimism. Wow, this is really hard and we need to apply effort to keep going. And then we enter the valley of despair, where it feels like the effort that we're putting in doesn't seem to be producing results. But if we keep on going, eventually Alex Hermosi tells us that we reach this phrase of informed optimism, where we start to figure out, yeah, this is working. If I keep on doing this, eventually I will reach success. So if you do the same thing, you're going to get the same results, which is fantastic if what you are doing is working. But if what you are doing is not working, and that's why you set a goal for 2025, then if you do the same things that you did last year, you're going to get the same results. That's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing and expecting different results. So if you want different results in 2025, it means you need to do different things in 2025. I'm going to put out a controversial idea out there. We talk a lot about TPT SEO. The most often comment I hear from TPT sellers is, I know I need to be doing more with TPT SEO. That's why I'm reaching out to you, Mike. And yes, TPT SEO, search engine optimization, to appear on page 1 of TPT search, that's important. But TPT SEO is not everything. There are many ways up the TPT success mountain. When we first start, we post some products and we don't really have any expectations, but then one day a product sells and then maybe it sells again. And we start to realize, hey, people are actually buying my stuff. So you keep on producing products, but you're not seeing linear growth where you make products and you make more money. So then we start to wonder, is there another way to get to that success? There has to be another way. So we look around in TPT land and we get this idea that we need to bring our own traffic to our TPT product pages. Maybe we're going to start an email list. We've heard that's like an ATM machine, where if you get your email list big enough, then during a sale, you post some products, you make some money. Or maybe we think, I'm going to go post in Facebook groups about my products. You know, the ones that you're allowed to post freebies. We hear someone has great success pinning products on Pinterest. Oh, I need to do that. I'm going to pin products on Pinterest to get traffic. I'm going to post on Instagram. I'm going to post on TikTok. So we try that. We try to bring our own eyeballs to our TPT products. And then it feels like it's not working. So we start looking around in TPT land and we come across this idea about TPT SEO is so important. And you have to make sure you have your keywords in your title and make sure you do keyword research. And you have to fill up all 80 characters in the title if you want to succeed in TPT. Make sure you use different variations of your keyword in your snippet that shows up on the front page, so that it shows up in search. And we start to try to learn more about TPT SEO. And that's probably how you found the SEOtpreneur YouTube community. And then sometimes we start to think about, oh, I need to fix this cover, or I need to fix this preview. Or we look at our old stuff that we made at the start of our journey, and we cringe because you didn't know what you didn't know back then. But you look at your covers back then and you're like, oh, that's horrible. I've got to redo that. But then you start to feel overwhelmed. A lot of TPT sellers reach out to me and they're like, I have hundreds or thousands of products. And the thought of updating all of those resources is just overwhelming. So then I do nothing. I get frustrated. I hear that a lot. If your strategy for 2025 is to create content and make more products, this video is not for you. Don't get me wrong. Creating content is a fantastic strategy. There's a seller in the SEO Tpreneur Pro community who is absolutely crushing it by creating content. I find watching their journey incredibly inspiring. They have figured out how to create successful product lines that are worth their time. And once they find that product line that works, they create a whole bunch of variations within their niche using a template process. And they are seeing that effort has a linear relationship to income. So the more that they make, the more money that their store makes. And they're planting little trees all over their store. The trees are growing up into saplings and into full-grown trees. They are creating a forest. When they first joined a year ago, they made way less than me. And now they're doubling, tripling, and quadrupling my earnings per month. So the stuff I'm going to talk about in this video is not appropriate for that seller because it would be a shiny object distraction. So if your strategy is to make more products in your TPT store, that is fantastic, but this video is not for you. Likewise, if your strategy for 2025 is to bring your own eyeballs to your TPT product, so your goal is to work on TPT marketing, you're going to spend a lot of time optimizing your email funnel, coming up with a fantastic lead magnet that is so great, they wonder, wow, if your free stuff is this good, how great is your paid stuff? And that lead magnet goes into a sequence and you start to build a relationship with your email audience or your Facebook audience or your Pinterest audience. And people know about you, and then people like you, and then people trust you, and they buy from your store. That is a fantastic strategy. So if your strategy in 2025 is to focus on TPT marketing and to bring your own traffic to your products, awesome, but this video is not for you. I would stop watching this video because it's going to be a shiny object. It's going to get you excited about something else that's going to take you away from your goal for next year. But if your goal for 2025 is to improve your store and you have this vague idea that you just want to make more than last year or double or 5x or 10x your income, but you're not really sure how you're going to do that yet, then I would suggest you check out our bootcamp. It's a 4-week bucket repair bootcamp. In the first 3 weeks, we look at how to improve your product page so that you're not leaving money on the table. This is about sales psychology. We talk a lot about TPT SEO, and that is important, but we need to start thinking about our products from the perspective of buyers as opposed to sellers. And there are certain things that we can do to increase sales just because of the psychology of humans. In week 4, we look at TPT SEO as well as sales psychology. If your goal next year is just to focus on TPT SEO, whatever that means to you, then this may not be the video for you. So if you want to just focus on keyword research and monitoring position, and your whole focus is just to get to page 1, we only spend 1 week doing TPT SEO because TPT SEO is important, but it's not everything. If you only focus on TPT SEO, then you're leaving money on the table, and keep watching this video to find out what I mean by that. My name is Mike Fuchigami. I'm the host of the SEO Tpreneur YouTube community. This bootcamp is for TPT hamsters and TPT hawks. And if you're not sure what I mean by that phrase, check out the free TPT business course up there in the corner. If you are just at the start of your journey, taking the bucket repair bootcamp is not a good use of your time. You need to focus on making products. More specifically, you're not going to have the data that you need to analyze your store. So we're really looking for TPT sellers who've been in the game for at least a year, because teaching is seasonal. If you have a year of data, you can see how your products did in different months, and you'll know which products to focus on because you can look at sales from January 2024 and figure out, hey, these were my best sellers at this time. That's what I need to glow up. If you are a big seller, taking this course may not be a good use of your time. Your time is valuable. It's probably better spent one-on-one talking about your store, looking at your specific data, and analyzing it together to come up with a strategy. So if you're interested in the Bucket Repair Bootcamp 101, go to selfservedatatool.com. When you get to the website, click at the very top where it says Bootcamp, and this page has everything you need to know about the upcoming Bootcamp 101. I asked TPT sellers who just finished the November Bootcamp what they thought. Missy wrote back and said, I feel more confident in my ability to analyze my data and make strategic decisions about my store. I really like Learn with Puzzles response because it speaks to the kind of community that we're trying to create here. They wrote, Mike creates an open, collaborative environment for learning. It felt like I wasn't a lonely island in the middle of the big ocean. I hear that a lot in TPT land when I chat with sellers who are joining the pro community. Some people are looking for the data tool, but some people are looking for other TPT sellers like them, because being a TPT seller can be an incredibly lonely experience. We all work behind our laptop or computer screens in isolation, and chances are you don't know people in the real world who don't have a 9 to 5 job. So this whole idea about a side hustle making money online is completely foreign to most people, but it's what we do, right? And it's a lot of fun. Lisa wrote back, and it made me realize that doing these boot camps is a way that I can teach in the classroom again. Because if you know my backstory, I used to teach grade 8 in Ottawa, but then life happened. I had a mental health crisis. I felt like I failed my students, and that was the end of my teaching career in the classroom. But now I'm trying to reinvent myself. I like chatting with TPT sellers and just teaching. This is kind of fun for me. So Lisa's comment, I really enjoyed. Joining his bootcamp was such a great opportunity, and I'm genuinely sad it's over because there was so much to love about it. And Lisa's already signed up for the January bootcamp because when you join the pro community, you get access to all of the bootcamps. So the Bucket Repair Bootcamp 101 answers 2 specific questions. The first question is, what do I fix? The second question is, how do I fix it? The whole point of this is to provide a process for you to improve your store. I call it a 4-week bootcamp, but it's actually 6 weeks. We meet every Sunday on Zoom at 3 p.m. Eastern time, which is not ideal for everyone. So this is really a compromise. A compromise is when everyone is slightly unhappy with the answer. But we have sellers from literally around the world taking this bootcamp. People in Europe, people in Australia. I recognize not everyone can make the Zoom meetings in person, so that's why these meetings are recorded. You can watch the playback afterwards and then join the conversation in the comments. The Zoom meeting on Sundays has 2 parts. Part of it is a lesson. It's about a 45-minute lesson where we talk about things and we do things and we use the self-serve data tool. And part of the Zoom conversation is an opportunity for feedback to show a product that fits the lesson. I'll put it up on the screen, and then we can get feedback from other TPT sellers who are looking at your product from a buyer's perspective. The 4-week bootcamp has a warm-up week before the official 4 weeks, and it has a bonus week at the end of the 4 weeks. The warm-up, which I highly recommend, is on Sunday, December 29th, 2024 at 3 p.m. And we'll go over some of the skills that you'll need in order to get the most out of this bootcamp experience. In week 1, we'll talk about previews. In week 2, we'll look at thumbnails and descriptions. In week 3, we'll look at the title, the cover, and the snippet. And then in week 4, we'll look at keywords. And I recognize that this is opposite from maybe how you're used to thinking about your products. But when you join the bootcamp, you'll understand why I go through this order. After the 4 weeks of the bootcamp is done, I do a 5th bonus week where we look at an advanced version of the self-serve data tool, and I walk you through how I use that tool. And then you have an opportunity to provide feedback to help improve the bootcamp, but also to help improve these tools to make them more useful for you. So you get 4 weeks to deep dive into using the self-serve data tool, and you get to keep on using the self-serve data tool, but you also get to provide feedback to the person who made the tool to make that tool work even better for you. So it's very exciting to see this tool evolve based on what you need. There's also weekly homework. We have an online discussion forum to post your homework. Every week of the bootcamp, you have to improve at least one product based on the concepts in the lesson. And then in the forum, you have to post what you did and include at least 2 screenshots, like a before and after of your thinking process. And finally, you need to reply to 3 other TPT sellers. And that's different from going into a Facebook group and saying, hey, can anyone give me feedback about this product? Well, people in the Facebook group aren't vested in your resource, so you may not get a lot of responses. But in this bootcamp, everyone who's in there is signed up and committed to doing this. It's part of the agreement. I'm going to watch the lessons. I'm going to try to improve my product based on the concepts in the lesson. I'm going to share what I did, and then I have a responsibility to reply to 3 other sellers who shared what they did, and vice versa. So if you're looking for feedback on your products, this is the way to do it. Registration is now open until Saturday, January 5th, because the first week of the bootcamp starts on Sunday, January 6th. You want to sign up now because otherwise you're going to have to wait a long time before I'm running Bootcamp 101 again. This is tentatively The bootcamp schedule for 2025, obviously subject to change based on feedback from you. Bucket Repair 101, the course that I'm talking about in this video, is happening January 25. I do the boot camps every other month so that I have time to improve the program in between the sessions. March 2025, I'm going to run Bucket Repair 201, which is the sequel to the first course. Some people from the November Bucket Repair Bootcamp, they're doing the January Bootcamp again because the more that you use the tool, the more that you get out of it. Plus, it's a different group of people, so your feedback on the products will be slightly different. And you're going to focus on products that are going to be selling well in January and February. So the products that you showcase and work on will be different from November. One of the key points that came out of the November bootcamp was the desire to learn more. And there was specific feedback given. So I'm going to try to put that together into a Bootcamp 201 course. So if you do the January beginner bootcamp right now, in March, you'll be able to do the more advanced bootcamp. In May, I'm planning to run Bucket Repair 101 again, this course. In July 2025, my plan is to run a mini bucket repair bootcamp. I'm going to TPT Forward in Nashville. If you're going as well, please leave a comment. Please find me. I have something special planned for TPT Forward. So I think I want to try to do a mini bootcamp in July, and it'll be like this course, Bootcamp 101. In September, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do yet because September is busy if you're in the classroom. So I think if you're doing TPT as a side hustle, you may not have the time to take a course in September. So I'm not entirely sure what September will look like. Maybe I run a bootcamp for those of us who are not in the classroom right now. If you have suggestions, please leave a comment. And then finally, November, I think I've gone full circle, and then I'll run Bucket Repair 101 again. So this means if you don't sign up for the January 25 Bucket Repair Bootcamp, you have to wait till May to do this course or November. So I always feel bad when TPT sellers find me and then they go back to the old videos and realize, oh, I missed out on this or I missed out on that. So if you're watching this bootcamp and you're excited by it, the next bootcamp is not until May. The registration is now open until Saturday, January 5th. And I hope that you join us. This is about working smarter, not harder. I mean, because chances are you are working hard already. You're trying to juggle your life and your day job and your side hustle. So you're working hard. So this is about working smarter. And Missy wrote, each week, Mike taught us how to analyze a different piece of our sales data to find our leaky buckets. His perspective and expertise helped me learn which products to focus on to yield the highest earnings impact. And that's key here, because if you are overwhelmed with the thought of how many products you have in your store and you don't know where to start, then this bootcamp is for you, because we're going to look at your data. Or more accurately, you're going to look at your data. I'll show you where to look. And then you can focus on the products that have those potential to have highest earning impact. So thanks, Missy, for that feedback. I appreciate it. This is a screenshot of the tool. If your conversion rate is low, on the right-hand side of the tool, it tells you what to do to fix it. The bootcamp is about leveling up your business intelligence. Learn with Puzzles wrote, Mike uses a unique bucket metaphor approach to data analysis that helps identify areas in the customer purchase funnel that might be leaking. That is, they came, they saw, and they left without buying. And you wonder what happened. And that is a great way to phrase it, Learn with Puzzles. Thank you so much for writing that. That's what 3 of the 4 weeks of this bootcamp is about. Figuring out why people are leaving your product without buying, and then trying to fix those leaky buckets. So in the self-serve data tool, there's a section where you can look at your previews. And if you think your preview rate is low, then on the right-hand side of the dashboard, it gives you tips on what to do to try to improve your preview rate. Finally, the bootcamp is about taking action to improve your store. Lisa wrote that the best part was we got to practice right then and there by finding a resource to fix, sharing links, and getting feedback from the group. I was surprised by what others saw that I had completely missed. It helped me think more like a buyer than a seller, and really opened my eyes to how even the smallest tweaks could make a huge impact. Thanks, Lisa, for writing that. I really like that idea because we don't know what we don't know, and we love our products. They're our babies. If it's something that we taught in the classroom, then we feel personally connected to this resource. And sometimes it can be hard to get feedback. So in the Zoom meeting, I try to create a safe space where people who would like to post their product, I'll show it and share my screen with everyone. And then we can talk about things that we like about the resource and things that we wonder or things that we might change based on our perspective as a buyer. So thanks, Lisa, for providing that feedback. In the self-serve data tool, if your preview rate is fine and your conversion rate is good, then on the right-hand side, it has some suggestions on what you can do to try to increase your page views. If you're still watching at this point, you're kind of excited, but you might still be wondering, is this bootcamp for me? If you go to the selfservedatatool.com on the bootcamp page and you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's a section that has a Q&A. It talks about how much is the 4-week bucket repair bootcamp. You need to have at least a basic annual membership, which costs $97 per year. So that's basically $8 a month. If you're serious about trying to increase your revenue for TPT in 2025, then the question you have to ask yourself is, will I make more than $8 per month with the information I get from this course? So if you think you'll make more than $8 per month, then you should definitely sign up. When I scroll up to the very top, and if I click on the pricing page, there are two options. You either sign up for the self-serve basic tool, which is $97 per year, or you join us on the pro community, which costs $147 per year right now. That's right, the price did go up. So if you're already part of the pro community, you are grandfathered into whatever rate that you bought. Even if other people have to pay more when they join in, you're locked in. If you've been thinking about joining the pro community, I would definitely join now before the price goes up again. The pro community gives you everything that the basic side does. So if you sign up for self-serve basic, you get access to the visualization tool that I showed a little bit in this video, and you get as many bootcamps that you want to sign up for. If you sign up for the pro side, you get everything you get in the basic side, but you also get access to the pro community forum, so you can continue the conversation in between bootcamps. You get access to our keyword research tool. You get direct access to me through the forum. There's exclusive video content in the message to Mike that I post once a month. We have a weekly Saturdays Zoom meeting that you're welcome to join. If you can't make the meeting, you can join us in the conversation because the staff room meetings are recorded, so you can skim and scan the transcript and then add your 2 cents. If you're a TPT hamster or TPT hawk, when you participate in the pro community, there's a way that you can earn mic minutes, and you can use those mic minutes on one-on-one Zoom consults. We have a co-working space, and I didn't write it down here, but I should. When you sign up for the pro community now, you get a bonus 30-minute conversation with me. And during the onboarding call, we can talk about your store and you can ask whatever questions you have. At the start of the video, I talked about how if you are a big seller, then maybe taking this bootcamp is not a good use of your time. And that's because I offer consulting. So there's SEOT.consulting. And if you scroll down to the bottom here, I charge $300 an hour for my time, but I offer discounts depending on what stage of the game you're at in TPT. And then I offer a huge discount when you buy blocks of my time in 10-hour increments. But in that bucket repair bootcamp question and answer section, if I scroll down and click on questions, it talks about who the bootcamp is for and who the bootcamp is not for. If you have 5,000 resources, is that okay? If you only have 5 resources, is that okay? If you're a smaller seller or a larger seller, does that make a difference? If your focus is on content creation, or if your focus is on finding high traffic, low competition keywords, check out the Q&A. So if 2025 is going to be your year that you turn things around in your TPT business and you have a goal for your TPT store, but you're not entirely sure how to get there yet, remember that if you do the same thing, you're going to get the same results. So if you want to have different results in 2025, you're going to have to do different things. If that's you, sign up for the Bucket Repair Bootcamp 101. Visit selfservedatatool.com. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below, and I'll see you in January. All right, have a great day. Bye-bye now.